Hey guys!
Hey,
Welcome to part two of Club Quarantine, Sanity Edition.
or Insanity Edition, depending on how you look at it.
Exactly,
Yeah,
depending on
yeah,
how you look
yeah.
at it. So today's topic is on exercise, nutrition, and outdoors.
Right.
So, I'll be honest, like, since the quarantine has started, I have been on the struggle bus with exercise because I am literally one of those people who needs the gym in order to feel motivated
Right.
to exercise.
Right.
Like, I need someone to yell at me and tell me, do 10 burpees because in real life, I am not going to do 10 burpees
Right.
of my own accord.
Right. Right.
And so I am a consistent gym goer. I go to the gym at least 3 to 5 times a week,
Mm-hmm.
usually. And since there's no gym, I have been struggling
Mm-hmm.
to exercise.
Yeah, no, and I mean, even for myself, I would usually try to go and swim during the days.
Yeah, and you haven't been able to do
I
that
wasn't able to
either.
do that either. And so it's been really, really tough not being able to do that. And so not being able to exercise, takes a big toll on you. We know that exercise can help in so many ways. Obviously, physically, people live longer, healthier lives when they exercise regularly. But oftentimes, we don't talk about how, from a mental health standpoint, exercise is critical.
It's critical.
Yeah, absolutely critical. And we live in a society where we don't get nearly enough physical activity, so exercise is like crucial.
Exactly. And it's one of those things where if you already know that you struggle with like depression, anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
any of those like mental health disorders, like exercise is like life.
Right.
Exercise is to me it's like one of the first prescriptions that
Mm-hmm.
I would give my clients, honestly,
Right.
because exercise is just a thing that can just give you that extra boost. It literally changes your brain,
Mm-hmm.
when you exercise.
Yeah, exactly. We know that a lot of like feel good hormones are released when you exercise. And the
Mm-hmm.
exercise helps to kind of clear your mind and your brain and your body of like stressful hormones that does make you feel and tired all the time. So when you get exercise, you can feel it. Like oftentimes when you exercise the next day, you sleep much better. And
That's
so
true.
in the morning, you feel a lot better. You feel calmer, just more at peace. And when you don't exercise, you can also tell the difference as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are your suggestions for what we can do to help people like me who are on the struggle bus right now?
Yeah, not having like a structured space can be really tough. Some gyms are doing virtual gyms where like people are going and exercising
Yeah.
online and doing group chats and all that kind of stuff where they're doing that. So that's one good option
Yeah.
for some people. If you're not one of those people, where it's like that doesn't really appeal to you, maybe just getting outside, going for a run, or just even a brisk walk for like 20 minutes, 2, 3 times a week can make a huge difference in terms of how you feel.
That's true. I know one thing that has been helpful for me is that my yoga teacher, Kelly, hi Kelly, she has been doing virtual yoga at her home, and she streams it for us on Facebook. And so that has been like those days when I catch her doing the yoga, like
Yeah.
that has been like helpful for me because I'm literally able to like feel like I'm taking an entire class
Right.
versus like sometimes the gym might just post do 10 push-ups and here are the reps, and I'm like I need the motivation of having someone
Somebody
there
right?
to kind of guide me through it. So the yoga has been really helpful, and actually it's helped me to do more yoga than I would normally be able to do
Right.
in a given week. So
Right.
I've sort of added virtual yoga to my
Right.
routine just to kind of like help me, but it doesn't necessarily help with the waistline because in addition to the exercise being thrown off, our eating is thrown off.
Right.
So now we eat because not only are we hungry, we eat because we're anxious, we eat because we're bored, we eat because we're happy, we eat because there's nothing else to do.
Right.
And so like how can we kind of like get our eating habits kind of like
Back in check.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good question because and one of the things that I try not to emphasize too much is like the weight number per se, because we're living in very strange times. The weight is not as big of an issue as so much as just being as healthy as you can be given the situation. And so that means trying to treat your body well. You're in a stressful situation, and so you want to make sure you're careful about what you're putting inside. That doesn't mean you can't snack. That doesn't mean you can't eat junk food from time to time. All it means is that you have to try to make an effort to do things good for yourself. So one of the things you want to ask yourself always before you put something in your body is, am I really hungry? Right? So,
No.
you know, a lot of times we snack even though we're not hungry.
9 out of 10 times the answer
You
is
know,
no.
we're not hungry, we're either stressed or we're just
That's true.
bored or
Yeah.
something like that.
Stress.
You
Stress
know,
eating. Well, a lot of us
exactly.
are stress eating right now.
Exactly. And so you want to ask yourself, you know, is this something that I need right now, or is it that
It's
I'm
not.
just feeling stressed, so I'm going to do this? And it's okay to stress eat every once in a while. One thing you may want to think about doing is maybe stress eating with slightly healthier foods, like some fruits or some nuts or something like that.
That's not fun.
Well, no, it's not as
How
much
could you
fun.
stress eat with nuts? Like,
Well, look, it's about training yourself, and you know what this situation is proving to us is that we can go and do a lot of things we could never imagine doing.
you know, that's true. I think like for, you know, some people have actually lost weight since the quarantine.
Yeah.
You know, so they
Good
have
for them.
actually taken. It's a good for them. No, but they've actually taken the time to, you know, do what you said, like, which
Right.
is like focus on what it is I'm eating. So
Right.
now that I'm not distracted with like 100 other things on my schedule,
Right.
now I can
Yeah.
actually think
Yeah.
about, okay, I'm gonna make, you know, eggs for breakfast, and I'm gonna have a salad for lunch, and you know, and you could even, you know, I think one tip is just planning your stress eating. You know, so like making that part of your diet. Like that's one of the tips that I got from one of my nutritionists, was to, you know, okay, if your, you know, nutritional intake is supposed to be 1800 calories for a woman, and you're trying to lose weight, you know, incorporate 100 of those calories as like free calories, so that you could eat whatever you want, so that you could
Right.
kind of like, you know, have some ice cream, have a half cup of ice cream, like still have it like, you know, in a proper portion, but when you eat it, like savor it, like
Right.
actually,
Right.
like, I'm eating this because I am stressed. So eat it slowly,
Right.
and remind yourself that you're eating it because you're stressed, but also feel the relief of it, because it
Right.
actually, you know, one of the things we do stress eat is because it temporarily does relieve the
Because
stress.
Exactly.
So I think it helps that in the moment, if you think that I'm eating this to relieve stress, but you slow it down long enough so
Right.
that you're actually feeling the relief. Once you feel the relief, usually it doesn't even take that long. Like
Right.
you usually don't have to eat like a whole plate of ice cream
Right.
to
Right.
feel the relief.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
like you could eat like, you know, maybe even like 2 or 3 spoonfuls. If you pay attention, you'll feel the relief. You'll feel the joy,
Right.
the little burst.
And
you
that's
know?
one of the things. That's an excellent point, because you know one of the things that has happened is that for a lot of people, you know, we go through life in a rush, so we don't enjoy a lot of things.
Yeah.
We just kind of
That's true.
just mow through things, and food is one
Yeah.
of those things that we just mow through. And so right now, you know, one of the things we do have a lot more of is time. And so taking the time to enjoy certain things like good food or even junk food, because then when you're able to enjoy it, you don't feel like you have to be eating it all the time. You can actually savor the times that you actually do it. And so food doesn't become another source of stress, because it's like, oh, I have to control this too. It's like, I can enjoy this. Because food is meant to, you know, nurture us, and food is also meant to help us to feel better. You know? So, you know, we want to balance all of those things.
I agree. And the last tip we want to share with you is about just going outside and enjoying nature, because that's really, really important for us to like take advantage of outdoor time, because we are kind of trapped in our houses to a certain extent. And so, you know, we need to go outside, and we need to get fresh air, and we need to feel the sunlight on us, you know, for at least 20 minutes. Like we highly recommend at least an hour. You know, a day of going outside. And going outside doesn't even mean exercise, but if you could exercise outside, like last week I did that. I actually stood outside my front door, and I exercised. I did my exercise out there. I just did the routine that the gym had posted that day outside, and it was good, you know, because I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I was exercising and I'm outside, you know. So tell us a little bit more about like, why is it important to be outside?
Well, you know, with exercise, you know, it's great, but like when you can combine it with being able to get outside, there's these other elements that you're getting that, you know, you just can't get anywhere else. And so, you know, I think God really made us to be in nature. You know, He made us to be in nature. So Adam and Eve were in the garden; they were just literally in nature. And so, being in the sunlight, that gives a vitamin D that most people know about. But just, you know, just having the smells of just grass. You don't have to be in a wilderness to be in nature. You can be just in front of your house and by a tree, and literally that can just change the way you feel. You know, and so, smelling the smells and just having the breeze on your face, and you're just getting in into natural air as opposed to necessarily being inside a cooped up in the AC air, it makes you feel better. And we know that just 20 minutes of this can change just how we feel. It calms us down. Just hearing the wind just kind of calms us down. Just seeing the greenery just calms us down, gets some of that stress hormone outside of our body. So, it's one of those things where it's not that hard to do. Because you can just you can take a phone call outside.
That's true, yeah.
You don't necessarily have to just go for
you can answer your emails outside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just doing things that you can do inside that you can do outside, and doing it even a couple times a day can make a big difference in terms of how you feel.
I think we just have to remember just to basically be intentional about going outside. It's kind of like if you're stuck at your desk, stuck at a computer all day, like you have to intentionally tell yourself, okay, I need to get up and take a stretch break. Take it outside, now that you're home. For a lot of people, I think that's important. So those are our tips for today, guys. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to like, comment, and share.
All right, guys. Take care and stay
Bye.
sane. Bye.
Stay sane. Bye-bye.